Okay, I have a little math problem for you.
Oh, boy.
And don't worry, you don't need a calculator or anything.
Oh, okay, I'm ready. Hit me.
Take 3,100 updated system elements,
Okay.
add 294 revised kernel extensions.
That's a lot of extensions.
Throw in, let's say, over 100 brand new system components. Now, what does that all equal?
Mathematically, that sounds like a gigantic, absolutely earth-shattering software overhaul.
Wrong. It equals nothing.
Nothing.
Zero. Zip. Nada. At least nothing you can actually see.
Ah, okay, I see where you're going. You're talking about the invisible giant.
We're talking about iOS 26.4 Beta 1.
We are.
I am so glad we're doing this deep dive because this might be the most confusing update Apple has released in years. It dropped yesterday, February 17th.
And everyone is just scratching their heads. It's this massive contradiction, right?
Yeah.
It's so heavy under the hood, but it feels like nothing happened.
Exactly. It's like Apple said, hey, we renovated the whole house.
Yeah.
And we all show up expecting this new gorgeous kitchen.
Right, open concept living room.
And instead, they just point to a blank wall and go, look, the new electrical wiring behind this drywall is spectacular.
And to be fair, for an engineer, that wiring is spectacular. But for everyone else, it's just a wall.
So that's our mission today. We are going to tear down that drywall. We're going to figure out why Apple just rewired its entire OS, but, forgot to turn on the lights. And we have to talk about the speaker of the house.
Oh, yes. We absolutely have to. That is a moment.
Let's start with the heartbreak, though. The whole Where's Siri saga.
Yeah.
Because the internet is, disappointed is putting it mildly.
It's a classic case of managing expectations or not managing them. The rumor mill, especially people like Mark Gurman at Bloomberg.
He's usually dead on with this stuff.
He's the oracle.
Yeah.
And he spent months hyping iOS 26.4 as the Messiah update.
The Messiah update, that's a lot to live up to for a beta.
It is. But you have to remember, Apple announced this new personalized Apple Intelligence Siri back at WWDC 2024.
It was almost 2 years ago.
2 years. In tech time, that's an eternity. So the expectation was this beta drops, and bam, Siri suddenly has on-screen awareness. It knows who you are, what you're doing.
And then the beta drops, and it's just not there. The notes just say, iOS 26.4 Beta 1 launches without Apple Intelligent Siri features.
And it's not just that they aren't there, it's that the whole timeline has shifted again. Now we're hearing, iOS 26.5, maybe even iOS 27 in June?
Why? What is going on? Apple is the king of shipping on time.
Well, from what we're hearing from engineering sources, it's not a feature problem, it's a physics problem. It's latency.
Okay, stop. Latency. For anyone listening who just uses their phone for social media, what are we talking about?
Latency is just the lag. It's the time gap between when you ask for something and when the computer does it. And apparently the new Siri is just slow.
Slow, like what, dial-up slow?
Slow in a way that breaks the illusion. When you're dealing with a huge language model on a device, it takes a ton of power. So if you say, hey Siri, and then there's 4 or 5 seconds of dead air before it answers.
The magic is gone.
Completely. You stop feeling like you're talking to an assistant and you start feeling like you're waiting for a website to load from 1998.
But I also saw a note that it's failing to process queries properly. That sounds a little worse than just slow. It sounds confused.
I wouldn't say dumb. I'd say literal. Way too literal.
Okay, no, let me give you the example. This is the highlight of my week. From a user, daemons on one of the forums.
Okay.
They asked Siri as a simple question, right? Who's the speaker of the house?
A totally reasonable, factual question.
And Siri's response was, and I am quoting, I can't find any speakers in the house.
No, it did not.
Yes, it literally scanned their HomeKit network for a HomePod.
That's just glorious. It's so bad, it's good.
I mean, come on. We're talking about Apple Intelligence, and it's failing a basic vocabulary test because it thinks speaker can only mean a smart home device.
But that really highlights the challenge they're facing, though. It sounds hilarious, but it's a huge engineering problem. They're trying to merge a command and control system, turn on the lights, with a creative knowledge engine.
And those are two totally different brains.
Completely different. One is rigid, speaker equals audio device. The other is nuanced, and right now their wires are clearly still crossed.
So ironic. We're waiting for Superbrain, and it can't define a noun.
Right, but, and this is where we have to pivot, if you stop looking at what Siri isn't doing and start looking at the code, the story completely changes. You don't rewrite 3,100 files to fix a typo.
Okay, convince me. Because right now, this update looks like a whole lot of nothing. What's under the hood?
The smoking gun is the kernel version.
The what?
The kernel. It jumped from version 25.3.0 to 25.4.0.
All right, hold on. We need to break that down. Kernel. When I hear that word, I think of popcorn. What is a kernel in an OS?
Think of it as the central nervous system of your phone. It's the first program that loads, controls how the software talks to the actual physical hardware.
So it's the foundation, the deepest layer.
The absolute deepest. And normally, in a mid-cycle update, you might see a tiny bump. From 25.3.0 to 25.3.1, some bug fixes.
And we got
a .4 update, 25.4.0.
That still sounds pretty small to me.
In kernel terms, that is a huge foundational shift. A .4 change means they've significantly altered how the OS manages the hardware. You just don't do that casually. It means they're pouring a new concrete foundation.
Okay, so if they're pouring concrete, what are they building? Is there any evidence of this Apple intelligence in the code, even if it's dormant?
Oh, it's everywhere. The file system is littered with it. There's a new background process, a daemon, called the intelligent routing daemon.
Intelligent routing?
Yeah.
Sounds like a track a cop.
That is exactly what it is. And I should probably say daemon sounds spooky, but it's just DAEMON. It just means a little background worker program.
Okay, so this intelligent routing worker, what's it routing?
Queries. Thoughts. The code directly references LLM services. So this daemon is designed to sit there and decide instantly, okay, the user just asked for something. Does this request get handled by the small, fast model on the phone? Does it need to go to Apple's secure private cloud, or does it need to go out to a third party?
So it's the brain's dispatcher.
Precisely. And that's incredibly hard to build because of privacy. You can't just send all your data to the cloud.
Right, because then you're just like Google. And Apple's whole thing is we don't read your stuff.
Exactly. So we're also seeing new components for telemetry uploads and content safeguards.
Telemetry, break that down.
It's a feedback loop. If an AI has access to your personal data, you need a way to monitor it, anonymously, of course, to see if it's going off the rails. If Siri starts telling people to eat rocks, they need to know that. That's telemetry.
And the safeguards are the brakes.
Exactly. They are installing the braking system before they put the engine in the car. And we're seeing much deeper integration with their private cloud compute framework. This is the plumbing for all the heavy AI lifting.
So the reason we don't see any cool new features is because they're busy building all the infrastructure, so the cool features don't, melt our phones?
That's the charitable and I think the accurate reading. Yeah.
Okay, that's the big picture. But I want to get into the weird stuff, the glorious absurdities. Let's talk about Safari.
Oh, yeah, the Safari changes are fascinating. There's a new browser kit daemon, and something called the Safari Browsing Assistant Worker.
Safari Browsing Assistant Worker.
Yeah.
That sounds like a very tired digital employee who needs a coffee break.
It does, but what's really telling is that they are ripping out old assistant components. It looks like they're separating AI browsing, like summarizing a web page, from the old legacy browsing engine.
So Safari is getting a brain transplant.
Pretty much. They're making it modular so they can update the thinking part of the browser without messing with the part that actually draws the web pages.
And it's not just Safari. The voice frameworks are getting a huge overhaul. I saw text-to-speech synthesizer plugins.
Right. Now ask yourself, why would you need new synthesizer plugins if Siri sounds exactly the same?
Why?
Because they're moving the processing. They are consolidating all the voice processing to happen strictly on device. This goes back to that latency issue.
Right. Speed.
If you want a voice interface that feels instant, you can't wait for a server somewhere to generate the audio and send it back. The voice has to live on the phone. So even if we can't hear it yet, the vocal cords are being replaced.
It's like watching a cyborg being assembled. You see the brain chip go in, the voice box go in, but it hasn't opened its eyes.
That's a slightly terrifying image, but yes, accurate.
What about the wallpapers? I saw a note that they moved wallpaper apps to a staged system apps path.
Right.
Why?
It's a bit of a mystery, but my best guess. They want to be able to push updates to visual things like AI-generated wallpapers without a full iOS update.
So they could drop a new feature on a Tuesday without making us reboot.
Exactly. It's all about untangling the code.
And the cleanup crew. They deleted like 45 old components.
Digital decluttering. You bring in 3,000 new things, you got to take out the trash.
So we have this huge invisible software update, but we live in the real world. And when the software gets weird, it usually means new hardware is coming.
You can't separate them. And this is where the bigger picture comes in. Did you see the invite?
The special Apple experience.
Yeah, March 4th, 2026.
It's so weird. New York, London, Shanghai. All at once.
Very unusual. And the invite has a 3D Apple logo. But we know it's coming. The inventory for the iPhone 16e has completely dried up. You can't buy one.
Which can only mean the iPhone 17 is on its way.
Right. And the iPad Air is seeing shortages too. The rumor is an iPad Air with an M4 chip.
An M4 and an iPad Air, that's overkill.
It is, unless you have software that can use it.
So here's my question. Is iOS 26.4 this invisible heavy-duty update? Is it just the factory software for these new devices?
That is the leading theory, 100%. All those new kernel extensions and routing daemons, they are probably optimized for the neural engine in the M4 chip and the new A19 in the phones.
So for us, on our older phones, 26.4 is just prep work. But for someone buying a new iPad on March 5th, it's essential.
Exactly. We are beta testing the factory settings for the next generation of hardware.
That makes me feel a little used, but okay, I get it.
Welcome to the beta life. You're an unpaid QA tester.
Great. This does bring up a rumor that bums me out, though.
Yeah.
The iPhone 18 Pro.
The S-tier vibe.
Yeah, Gurman is saying it might be a minor tweak.
But that lines up, doesn't it? If 2026 is the year of getting the AI architecture right, maybe they don't need a radical hardware change. They need the software to finally catch up to the hardware they've already built.
That's a really good point. We have these incredibly powerful chips. We're just waiting for the software to actually use them for something smart.
We don't need a faster phone. We need a smarter phone.
So let's bring this all home for everyone listening. We've got this massive invisible update, a dilemmaed Siri who can't find a speaker, a big event in March. What's the takeaway?
We are living in a construction zone.
A construction zone.
You know when you drive past a huge building site and it's just mud and cranes and it looks awful for like a year?
Yeah.
That's where we are with AI on our phones. It looks messy, Siri's inconsistent. But the fact that they touched 300 files proves they are betting the farm on this. They're rebuilding the entire OS around intelligence.
Have patience.
Have patience. The foundation is being poured. The actual building comes later.
I guess that's fair. But it does leave me with this final thought on what we even want from these assistants.
What's that?
We want them to be magic, you know? We want the AI from the movies, a companion. But when you peel it all back like we just did, you realize they're just complex routing demons.
It strips away the mystique.
Yeah. At the end of the day, Apple Intelligence is just a bunch of very sophisticated if-then statements.
If user asks for speaker, then check for HomePod.
And if that fails, just apologize profusely.
Exactly.
I'm going to go check if the new intelligent routing demon can help me find my car keys.
I wouldn't count on it. I think you still need an AirTag for that.
Yeah, Siri would probably just tell me I can't find any keys on the piano.
Probably.
Thanks for diving deep with us. We'll be watching that March 4th event very, very closely.
Absolutely.
Catch you next time.